right, everyone. Welcome to our last press conference of 2024 Skate America with our ice dance medalists. With the bronze medal, Olivia Smart and Tim DIECK from Spain. With the silver medal, Madison CHOCK and Evan Bates from the United States. And our champions, Lilah and Lewis Gibson from Great Britain. I'll start each of our teams off with an opening question. What does it mean to stand on the podium today? We'll start with you, Lilah.
Oh, good start. Okay. We were so proud to be up there on the podium. It was definitely a very heartwarming moment, especially to be surrounded by our amazing teammates. It was a joy to compete alongside them this week and to train towards this together, and it makes it even more meaningful that we're all up there together.
It's always an honor to be on the Grand Prix circuit, and especially standing on the podium, like Lilah mentioned. We had 6 teams in this event. We all trained together, have great camaraderie, and it just makes the process much more enjoyable and fun and frankly doable to do it surrounded by friends who you respect. And so, yeah, it was great.
So it's been a long time since I've stood on the podium at a Grand Prix. It was during COVID, my last time with my previous partner. So to be stood on the podium today with Tim for the first time, and this is also Tim's first time standing on a Grand Prix podium, it was a moment that we've been hoping for, and a moment we've been wanting to feel, and it's the reason we came back and we started skating together. So getting that moment today and holding back tears was just a step forward in our partnership and career together. So thank you everybody for experiencing that with us.
All right, we'll now open it up for questions. I know this group has a question.
Patch? Thank you so much for being here. Really sweet or salty, everyone.
I have a question.
Yes, Lewis, go ahead.
It's for all you.
We'll come back. Tatiana.
Don't get let you away so easily. So, no. So the programs we've seen today were very different. Yet you are all from the same school, as you pointed out, and especially all of you have been. I mean, Olivia and Tim are fairly new as a team, but both have been competing in ice dance. But so how challenging it is always to find something new, to reinvent yourselves, especially for those, for Madison, Evan, and who have been around for a long time.
Yeah, we're old. We know.
I think for Lilah and I, we really just try to follow with what we want to do, like what's going to make us happy, what's going to excite us every day when we go to training, allow us to put everything into a program as well. You know, it's tough day in, day out if you have to run these programs. So if it excites you, it's definitely always going to be passionate from us. So I think we've always just sort of went with what we want to do.
I think for Evan and myself, we've had many years to explore so many different styles of dance, and we keep finding that there's more to discover each season, and so we really take each season as a new opportunity to reinvent ourselves and find something that speaks to us and a message that we want to say or a mood that we want to cultivate and create. So we're really still feeling creative, and especially around our incredible team in Montreal, our coaches, our choreographers, their creativity is completely boundless, and it's really inspiring for us to be able to get to work with all of them individually. They're so special, and it really just fuels us to keep pushing ourselves and creating new things that we're really passionate about.
I mean, a little bit different than to other couples. We don't have that many years together on the belt yet, but yeah, we went to a totally different direction than our last year's free dance from Elvis to Dune. It's something very different and not very upright energy, more like focused on the lines and on the technical side. So yeah, we're still trying to experience this part, but I think with this year's free dance we made a big step up, and we're looking forward to more years like that.
Go over to Nick.
This is for Madison and Evan. You know, over the last couple of years, I don't think you guys had trailed after a rhythm dance during this win streak that you've had. So what was that feeling like, and did you embrace it? Is it good to be put in a situation like that for the first time in a long time?
You know, I think that's what we love about sport is it's so unpredictable. Anything can happen, and it certainly keeps us on our toes. And yesterday I was specifically on my toe, on Evan's toe. So that was interesting. But it definitely inspires us to keep learning and adapt in different ways and overcome small adversities, which we're no strangers to, and certainly not afraid of any adversity that comes our way. It's an opportunity for us to grow and get even stronger and build more mental fortitude. So I think this was a great opportunity for us to just reinforce all the things that we've learned and reevaluate going forward how we can be even better and keep working and when we get back to Montreal. But we're certainly proud of what we've accomplished here at our first competition of the season, and this is a great starting point for us. We love our programs, we love our costumes, we love our team, and the only way forward is up and forward.
Lynn?
Another question for Madison and Evan, kind of following up on what you were saying about your free dance. When did the idea that you'd like to explore a film noir theme begin? And, you know, did it sort of come from the costume, or did the costume spring out of the, you know, the idea for the dance?
Well, initially we were drawn to the music Take 5 by Dave Brubeck. It's been in the back of our minds for a long time and kind of on our little list of things to explore. And so we kind of just started there with that nugget of the idea, and from there we were inspired by the idea of Lady Luck and how you can create your own luck, and then in turn how that is kind of tied into the American dream and Dave Brubeck being an American artist and Worlds being in the US. It just felt very cohesive to have this theme and this movement going forward. And so when I thought about jazz and that kind of moody feeling, it brought me to a place in New York. And for me, that was kind of like the 1920s, something very like glamorous, Art Deco. I was very inspired by the Empire State Building, Sid Charisse, and just like some classic American kind of images in my head. So that's kind of where it all stemmed from. But the story between us is about Lady Luck and how you can create your own luck and be inspired by that.
This is a question to all the team. Earlier, I was speaking with our pair team, Riku and Ryuichi, who spent 2 weeks in Montreal this spring for their program. And he was saying, watching you ice dancers, he was blown away how good dancers you were. And he was also saying, compared to the dancers, their dancing skills are pretty basic. So he was saying the first thing he had to toss out was the embarrassment and being shy. If any of you had any interaction or observation when two of them are in your rink, can you share with us?
I just remember being in awe of what they were doing, especially their lift exit when he's in a drag and she's flipping around, and I'm like, I don't think we could do that either. So I think there's a lot of inspiration to draw from the different disciplines and things that we take for granted in our own. And I just remember really admiring what they were doing and then using that to spur a lot of creativity for some more acrobatic moves that we can all do.
They're definitely some of the hardest working athletes we've ever seen. We've been fortunate enough to be on tour with them in Japan multiple times, and I'm always in awe of their work ethic and how fluid they are across the ice. They've got so much power and glide and effortless ease. So to hear that they were in awe of us when they came to Montreal is very flattering. We'll take it.
I remember Marie working with them, and they were doing just an around-the-head throwing lift thing that we work on for days, for years. They were just doing it so casually, but they weren't on the cue of music Marie wanted them to be on. But they kept doing it over and over again like it was nothing for them. And just watching them do that effortlessly, but just not be on the right timing of music, really showed that Marie was getting them going to their ice dance feels of the creativity of music, the nitpicking moments. But all of us would have just been like, can we just do it without the trick? Because we've done it 6 times, we're done. But no, they just kept doing it. And then they got it on music, and now it's fantastic. And it's my favorite part in their program to watch.
Go to Anna in the back.
Thanks. Evan, you're one of the athlete commission members with the ISU, and I know at the last Congress you mentioned that you'd like to see more opportunities for athletes to have interactions and give feedback to the ISU, and I'm just curious if you could say a little bit more about that and what you might be working on.
Sure. So this year at Worlds in Montreal, we had the first ever athlete forum, and so that was just an open invitation, all 4 disciplines, after the final event, and it was actually attended by the ISU president and the executive director, Colin Smith and Jae-Yul Kim, and it was awesome. Like, it was at 11 p.m. on Saturday night, and like 50 athletes showed up, and I was like blown away by the fact that so many people attended. And then it was just like a conversation about, you know, kind of bigger picture, where the ISU is headed, where they want to go, how we're going to market our sport to a new audience, a younger audience, hopefully. And then, you know, the president and the director left the room, and it was just us, and it was just all the athletes in the room together. And it was, you know, we spoke about rule changes, we spoke about prize money, we spoke about whatever the athletes wanted to talk about. And that's the first time ever that's happened. And so I think that kind of speaks to the movement of, you know, an athlete-led commission that is just giving athletes the power to feel more a part of this sport. And so it was really encouraging to be a part of.
Come to the front.
One more question to Lilah and Louis. So this is your second Grand Prix win. I remember being there last year at NHK Trophy when you had your first win, kind of maybe a little bit surprising. Maybe you can compare the 2 experiences a little bit, now being a second-time Grand Prix winner, and what it means to you. Thank you.
In NHK last year was definitely a surprise, and it's still like one of my favorite moments for our career, and I still have that picture in my head behind the scenes, and you were right there. And today, again, like every time we go out there, we just want to do well for ourselves, and to finish on top is always like that cherry on top of it as well. So yeah, it was really cool. I was super happy with today. Yeah, definitely, but I think the first time is always like that extra special moment, and having kind of not been in the kiss and cry in the moment as well, and just waiting for that score on the TV was cool.
Yeah. All right.
First Grand Prix, and for some it was not the first competition, but the first Grand Prix. Now, what do you want to focus on before going into your next event? Some have a little bit more time, and others not.
How many days do we
Rest
have?
for 2 days.
Yeah.
Ourselves, Tim and myself, and Lilah and Louis are going to Bratislava this week. So we have...
It's Sunday today.
Yeah, so next
leave
week.
on Monday?
So we're going to continue just to
The shorts
rest
in
our
like 5
bodies the
days.
next 2 days, and then we have an event in the next couple of days. We have a long season ahead of us, Tim and myself, so we'll take it one competition at a time and just let this moment sink in for now.
Yeah, same thing. We have a quick turnaround, so we'll do what we can in the one day of training in Montreal to look at where we lost some points today and yesterday even, and to just build as much as we can in that very short amount of time, and then really enjoy our time in Bratislava, get back to work, get the feedback going, and just really take it one competition at a time, because otherwise, like Olivia says, it's a long season, and I think being present is very powerful.
We have about 2 weeks till NHK Trophy, and that gives us a nice amount of time to go home, recheck some technical marks, I think put some more polishing touches on the programs, and just get some more mileage before NHK.
Yeah, on that note, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming.
Thank you.
Was the ISU interview now? I don't remember who told me that. Is this this is the ISU interview? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's what. Wow. Do you have the mini microphone?
I have it, but honestly,